What's up, people? Welcome to another edition of Conversations with Nig. We about to get into a couple motherfucking what's the name of them motherfucking Jones topics.
Oh yeah. We was all in it in anticipation, trying to figure out what the fuck you was gonna say.
Right.
What was it?
Y'all know when you can't think about simple words and shit, you be like, toast. Nah, but we about to get into a couple topics, and one topic we want to touch on is acceptance today. You know what I'm saying? Today is the day we talk about accepting shit, because it don't matter if you like it, if you don't like it, how you feel about it. There's a lot of shit in your life that you just have to accept. But I also want to holler at y'all about a movie I just seen, and I watched it because I seen they had a trailer for it on Hulu. They got the whole trilogy on Hulu. So if y'all have a chance, if you see this video, go check this out. Go check it out before it's off of Hulu. But yeah, I was watching the Zoe Williams show, his little live stream show he do on YouTube, and you know what I'm saying, he's talking about the Matrix. And you know, I haven't seen The Matrix in a long time, so when he was talking about it, I was like, damn, I ain't seen it in a long time, so I can't remember the shit that he was speaking on. Mm-hmm. But then I went back to it, so I knew that Hulu had it on there, so I was like, let me just watch the trilogy over again. So I just watched the whole trilogy in the course of 2 days, and yeah, like, I feel like certain stuff is like, it's like how people say, like, how the Bible is. Like how they say every time you read the Bible, you can get a different meaning from it. Every time you know what I'm saying, you read different scriptures in the Bible and get a different meaning about it every time, depending on where you at in life. And like where I'm at in life now, to like be where I'm at and really, like, you know, think about shit and be able to watch it and really pay attention and see what's going on. And then, like, me being into film, and you know, I just like I have a different eye for shit now.
Right.
So I watched The Matrix. And mind you, I watched it high every time.
Even when the very first time you seen it? Nah.
No, I'm talking about
when you just now
when I just now seen it, I watched it high too, just to, you know what I'm saying, make it that more trippy for myself.
Right.
So I'm sitting there and I'm watching The Matrix. And like, there's a lot of, like, you know, shit up in there, you know, that's like some deep shit. You know, a lot of people, especially like when I was a kid, I didn't look at it of how deep it was. I looked at it like, you know, like a regular adventure movie, like, oh, Neo got to save the world through the Matrix and shit. Right. You know what I'm saying? So that, you know, he can just be a hero or whatever. You know, you're not thinking that deep about shit when you, you know, a kid. Right. But now that I'm older and I seen that, I was really thinking deep when I was seeing certain moments, and you would see it and you'd be like, damn, that shit is some real shit. Oh, damn, this shit really be happening, but just like on a smaller scale in your life. It's just like watching The Matrix makes you realize that you are in the Matrix. And I'm not saying that you plugged into as some type of human battery, but I'm just saying, like, you know what I'm saying, that's all this is, right?
But aren't we talking about acceptance?
Right. But this is going to lead into that.
This ties in.
Mm-hmm.
I was making sure you wasn't going on a rant.
No, this whole shit leads back to acceptance, because I feel like that's the basis of accepting shit, right? So I have advice for any adult out there, you know what I'm saying, because I'm 26. So anybody who, you know, of a certain age of a thinking mind, watch The Matrix again now. And you know, and you might take back something different from me, because I plan on watching it again just one more time before it goes off of Hulu, just the whole trilogy over, just to, you know, because I just seen it with a fresh eye, but I haven't seen it in a minute, so I'm gonna watch it again now that I've seen it, so I can catch the shit that I missed. But yeah, man, like, it's just like people be saying they woke, right? You know what I'm saying? Like,
yeah, that's the saying. That's
right.
the little saying for little say now. I'm talking about Ewoke when they come out. But last year, people started saying that shit.
That's the new thing. People woke, right? Like, you know, like, and I thought about that when I was watching Matrix because, you know what I'm saying, like when they had woke the people up from the Matrix, and it was like, where am I? He was like, we call it the real. This is the real, and I was like, right, like,
Right.
you know what I'm saying, just that connection in my mind, like.
That's how you really feel when you really see what's going on.
Yeah.
Like, this is the real.
This is like, you know what I'm saying, the real, or woke, or enlightened, or tapped, or whatever you want to call it. When like, but like I feel like, you know, a lot of shit become a fad, and a lot of people think they woke because, you know, they follow politics and, you know,
Black Lives Matter.
and Black Lives Matter and motherfucking Time's Up and Me Too, and, you know, little, you know, shit like that. But, you know, it's I feel like it's like truth, right? Real truth doesn't have to be explained. Real truth doesn't have to be argued. Real truth doesn't have to be debated, right? And that's the thing is, and the thing about truth is only a perception thing. So everybody's truth is different.
Right.
That's the whole thing. Just because you have your truth doesn't mean that your truth is their truth. And I understand that right now y'all probably thinking like, what? Where are you going with this? Like, what do you just talked about the Matrix and being woke and going to the real? So where you know what I'm saying? So where you going with this? I'm saying, but like regardless on what you call it, the truth is truth. That's what being woke is. The real, being enlightened, being tapped, all that shit. That shit is just truth. That shit is just truth, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just truth. Like it's a lot of females out there who I've met and spoken to in my life, and 9 times out of 10, if you ask a female what she want out of life, or, you know, what is her goals or whatever, 9 times out of 10, you know what a young black female gonna say? I just want to be happy. 9 times out of 10, young females out here, if you ask them what do they want to be, or what are their goals, they say I just want to be happy. You know why they say that? Because they grew up, and most of us was raised by our mothers, or some type of woman figure if you African American. You like, you know what I'm saying, you seen your mother or whoever raised you go through a lot of shit when it came to niggas, when it came to working, when it came to everything. So you look at their life, you don't want your life to be like that. You know what I'm saying? Because the girls who grew up in a position where they didn't see their mother have to go through a whole bunch of shit, their perception of the world is different. Right? You know what I'm saying? So that goes back to truth as well, because their truth is different from your truth. If you was raised like how I've been saying, like, because I know I grew up in a house where, well, I wasn't raised by my mother, but I grew up in a house where I was around my mother, and I would see her go through her little relationship things, and I would see the shit that she went through in life, and, you know, all the shit that was going on. And, like, you know, you get to the point, especially, like, as a child, you get to the point where you just, like, my people not happy. Right. My people are so unhappy that they want to see me unhappy. I feel like that's what most people, I feel like that's how most people feel. People feel like, oh, you know, I don't feel like, you know, I don't feel like I grew up around people who was truly happy. You know what I'm saying? Like,
people just out here trying to make it and survive and doing the same dumb shit and feeling like trapped in the same cycle, and people just feel unfulfilled because they don't know what it is that's missing. But you sit there and you feel that it's not right, it's not making sense, and you can act or be any type of way, but you see.
And that's even more apparent in black females.
Yeah.
Because just women in general, in this society that we live in, you know, as far as like the role that you guys play, it's a very odd role. It's very like, you know, it's one of those things where I feel like a woman's place in this world is already kind of like an odd thing. So, so it's like, but it's even more so when you're a black woman.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? 'Cause it's different challenges, it's different scenarios, it's different. It's all around. It's just different. It's like I feel like being a black woman is like being another species.
You feel like it sometimes how you be out in the world.
But you know what I'm saying? That's the whole thing about it. Like, you have to understand these things. I sit here and I talk about shit like this because I want y'all to listen to what I'm saying and agree with it, disagree with it. I don't give a fuck what you do, but just think about the shit that I'm talking about. You know what I'm saying? Regardless, you agree with the shit I'm talking about, or you don't agree, you just think pretentious or whatever. You know what I'm saying? You feel how you feel, but you know,
Man,
speak on it.
That's what we want you to do. That's what we're encouraging.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Because like now Kanye West brought a new thing out here recently.
Oh,
Free thinking.
Right.
Free thinking. You know.
People are too hypersensitive for people to really think without somebody getting offended and hurt, and like somebody really just, you feel like people just slices your throat, like you can slice somebody, kill somebody when you say something offensive that somebody don't agree with.
And I'm gonna take a second to talk about this Kanye West thing.
No.
Because I've had a few conversations about this Kanye West thing, and I've seen how people feel about it, and I understand, and I see like, people reaction and people, perceptions of what's going on, and like I don't know. I feel like what Kanye West said is what Kanye West said. How can you disagree with what he said? You know what I'm saying?
But I feel like, but you also just have to say, you know why people have opposing, because hearing that 400 years as a slave, that sounds like a choice. The statement is so harsh because black people, when we think of slavery, we're just like, we think of everything that we had to went through. So it's like, how could you say that? That's just crazy to say, because that's just hurt. But it is a choice between, is you going to be a slave or if you're going to die. And that's just, and the statement is true, but it's a harsh, nobody wants to hear that.
Listen. That goes back to what I said about the truth. The truth isn't something that you have to explain. The truth isn't something that you have to prove. The truth isn't something that you have to argue, right? Because the truth is what it is. But like I said before, everybody's truth is different, right? It's like what Kanye said, while some would deem it irresponsible because the platform that he's in and all blah, 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 but I feel like it was very important that he said that. You know what I'm saying? It was very important that was said and that was brought to the table. Black people are accustomed to looking at their own people with their own history, and they look at their ancestors as victims. They look at themselves as victims to the system. You know what I'm saying? We victims in this society. You know what I'm saying? And that's and I feel like that's if Kanye West has to, that's how Kanye West feel, and he can be, to open up his mind and shit like that, that's nothing wrong. Why shouldn't he be able to feel like slavery was a choice? Because do you know what happens in war? When you in war, especially back then, think about it. Black people wasn't the first slaves, but they were just happened to be the last. Well, there is still slavery going on in certain places in certain little ways, but as far as like in that manner of slavery, there has always been slaves. Black people just so happen to be the last slaves. You know what I'm saying? It's in recent history. We're still right here in this country with the motherfuckers who enslaved us and everything like that. But at the same time, we are not victims, right? You know what I'm saying? It's just like,
right,
you gotta call a spade a spade. Back in the day, people would go to war, right? Wars were happening, or people would get pillaged or whatever. Like even you watch the show Vikings. What would happen in the show Vikings when they pillaged the town? They would take the people as slaves. They would take them as slaves. They would have them as servants and shit like that.
Right.
You like that's what happened when you lost the war. That's what happened. You got took prisoner. You know what I'm saying? The motherfuckers who was really body on the battlefield died on the battlefield because they decided they wasn't going to be taken prisoner.
Right.
Do you guys all right get what I'm trying to say? You know what I'm saying? Because I'm not coming around to the point to be like, so Kanye West was right. No, I'm just bringing all this stuff up because a lot of y'all have such as, oh, Kanye West is a fucked up person. Why is he a fucked up person? Explain that. You know what I'm saying? Because Kanye West, I'm more of a militant guy. I feel like, you know, if it gets to a certain point, I will put my hands on you. But you know what I'm saying? Some people are more like, hey, let's try to show love and this or that. And I do show love, but it's just in a different manner. I'm not gonna like, you know, walk into my enemy's office and be like, hey, let's sit down and have a conversation about why you hate me. You know what I'm saying? Even though that would be the most ideal thing. I feel like it's more important to get the everyday people because it's just like, no matter what color you are, especially like in these little towns. If you don't live in a major city where it's just like black parts and white parts, and you live in any type of middle American town, it's mostly white people in these middle American towns. You got black parts in the middle American towns, and they living around with a whole bunch of white people.
Right.
and these motherfuckers, you know, they have to put up with white culture and, you know, shit like that. So it's just like, it's just about it's doing shit like this, talking about the shit, being real. You know what I'm saying? It's just like, I feel like Kanye West should be able to say what he wanted to say. And, you know, I feel like people went too hard on him as far as like, oh, he crazy, he a coon, blah, blah, blah. Is he a coon for saying that slavery was a choice? Killmonger said that in Black Panther. Killmonger said that he didn't say slavery was a choice, but but he made the choice. He just physically made it in front of your eyes. Y'all was with that shit when that nigga was like, "I'ma die. I ain't gonna be no prisoner. I'ma die like my ancestors who killed themselves, who fought on the boats or whatever." You know what the fuck he said.
The ones who said that, he said, no, I'm not going to be a prisoner. He's just like, I'm going to be like my ancestors, slaves, and who jumped off the boat because he was not going to be in prison.
You see?
And that's a choice. And that's a choice.
And
that was a choice.
And that's the choice that he made. It's just like,
you can only make the choices that you can make.
Yeah.
Sometimes your odds are never aired. Neither one is looking good, but you have to choose.
Yes, and this is the thing about choice, right? Choice is choice. It don't matter what kind of choice it is. Right. Choice is choice. People try to, like I'm trying to tell you, they're gonna try to fuck with your mind and fuck with your understanding of shit by having these feature words. Like I was just having a conversation with somebody on YouTube about, you know what I'm saying? He was saying that slavery wasn't a choice, blah, blah, blah. And slavery was an ultimatum. But an ultimatum just means a choice with a consequence behind it. It don't matter what you, but that's every choice. Every choice has a consequence behind it. So what is the real difference between the ultimatum and the choice as far as the meaning?
Right.
There's not really one. That's just a perception thing. You know what I'm saying? It's just how you take it. Like, listen, people. Ultimatum means. I really don't know what ultimatum means. I mean, I forgot. I know the meaning. I just read the meaning, but if you could look it up for me, that would really help.
Right, like, you need to look this shit up now.
Yeah, but I know, but like watch when we look it up. It's like I'm gonna bring it all together for you.
I forgot that. What are you looking up?
Ultimatum. We're looking up the word ultimatum today.
I don't even think I know how to spell ultimatum. Listen. What?
That's another thing, kids. Stay in school. Spelling not hard.
Spell
You
it.
just gotta
Spell
sound it
it
out.
right now then.
ULTIM.
ULT.
I mean, I'm sorry. Oh yeah, UL. ULTIMATUM. Bam. See, she made me second guess myself because she can't spell.
I had A-L. An ultimatum.
I'm trying to tell you something.
A final
Stay in
demand.
school.
Right. A final demand or statement of terms, the rejection of which will result in relation or breakdown of relations.
Did you guys hear that?
Retaliation, sorry. Can't read either. The rejection of which will result in retaliation or breakdown in relations.
Yes. And read that first part again.
Okay, so a final demand or statement of terms.
Okay. Did you hear that? A final demand or statement of terms. That goes back to the Matrix and the whole red pill, blue pill. Because some people will be like, that's a choice. But it was also an ultimatum.
Right.
So what's really the difference?
Right.
You know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, think about it. Morpheus told him what it was. He told him what it was. He let him know, this is for this and this is for this. Red pill, blue pill, you pick. You know, and he made his choice. Off of what? Off of an ultimatum.
Yeah.
Listen to what I'm saying, people. Like even in the Matrix, and it's crazy how like all this stuff is about to get crazy. Because even in the Matrix, there was a part in the Matrix where on the last one when Neo got caught in like the middle part, and he was in the little train station part, and he was talking to the Indian family who they was like programmed and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like the Indian dude was like, yeah, I'm taking my daughter to into the Matrix because in my world, if a program doesn't serve a purpose, then it gets deleted. He said I just happen to think my daughter is the most beautiful thing in the world, and you know what I'm saying, and I want to, you know, and I want the best for her, like because I love my family so much. And then like he looked at Neo. Neo was looking crazy, and Neo was like, I mean, then the robot was like, I bet you never heard such things before, huh? He was like, but love is a human emotion. He was like, no, love is a word.
Right.
Remember that. Remember that. You're like, y'all hang too much emotion on what people are saying and these words and shit. It, like, you know, and it's just too stuck in these meanings and shit. Listen, we got to get to a high level of communication, and where it starts at, it starts internally. You like, I feel like a lot of people don't understand themselves because you don't know the language of your spirit or ki or soul or whatever it is, your soul language. You know what I'm saying? That's one thing that we gotta learn in life, our soul language. What's your soul language? You know, like talk to yourself. Think. You know what I'm saying? Like a lot of people don't really take the time to just sit and think, right?
People's minds are too scattered and fluttered and filled with just crazy shit they just put in your face, just
it's
distractions and shit.
It's like, how many times have you heard a person say, if it ain't about money, then I ain't fucking with it, or whatever the fuck people say now.
Right.
Some variation of what I just said.
Right.
You know, if it ain't about money, then don't call me, or whatever the fuck it is.
Right.
Think about that. So that means I don't want to retain anything other than what can benefit me temporarily in this, you know, matrix that I'm living in.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? A lot of us live in this little world that we create, this little perception that we create in our mind, and there's a whole world of stuff out here that you just don't believe because you don't do nothing but work and go home. How the fuck you gonna say that somebody was wrong, was not? How the fuck you gonna tell Kanye he wrong and all you do is go to work and go home? Explain that. If you just go to work and go home, and you have nothing on your mind but that check every week or every other week, Who are you to tell somebody that they wrong about anything? You know what I'm saying? That's another thing. A lot of y'all need to check yourselves. A lot of us need to. I'm not gonna say y'all. I'm not gonna differentiate myself from my ally or my enemy, because you know, if Hitler won, then America would have been the terrorist, and they would have been told in history like Hitler is told in history. So we always got to remember that. You know what I'm saying? We always got to remember that, you know what I'm saying, you're always a bad guy to somebody.
Right.
And all this stuff, it goes to my main topic. I'm talking about all this stuff because I'm talking about acceptance. Everything that I'm saying, I'm bringing up all these different scenarios because these are all the different scenarios that you need to accept. You hear me, people? You have to accept that you're living in the matrix. Not literally, but metaphorically, spiritually. However you want to, have you got to break down in your mind to get to that level of having that internal conversation. Right? We're talking about acceptance. Acceptance is, you know, is stronger than, acceptance is a very, acceptance is like peace. Right? I feel like that's what peace is. Peace is acceptance.
Right. People definitely don't have. Sorry, I had to break this side of it. Right, acceptance. You know how I know people not accepting themselves?
How?
It's bitches walking around with cuts, like rips. Like, you know how people wear rips on the front of their pants?
Mm-hmm.
They're wearing it in the front and the back at the same damn time. I seen 2 little white bitches today with some little ripped jeans in the front and the back. And the rips go right under the butt. And some rips go on the butt. And it's just like, I was like, what the fuck is really going on? That looked like the wildest shit I had ever seen. Like,
Listen,
really?
and I'm gonna touch on that topic because it goes along with the topic, acceptance. Acceptance is such a broad thing. I'm so glad I had this topic today because it gave me a chance to really talk about a lot of different shit. But I'm gonna speak on this, you know, young women today, right? And I'm gonna be brief. I'm not really gonna give y'all the third degree, you know what I'm saying, how I really could, and you know, and I know how bitches is. Niggas can get it too. But I'm just saying, I'm just gonna speak briefly on this because, you know, it was brought up. But
here we go. What you about to get into? What you about to say? Damn, nigga. Right, you trying to hear this? I ain't trying to hear this.
Right.
Bitches. No. Right. That's what some bitches said just now.
Okay. See, like I spoke to a female one day, and like, you know what I'm saying, she was like, "Do you always call females bitches?" And I was like, "Yeah, I do. I call bitches all the time." But, you know, it's just a word. It's easy to say. It's more about convenience than it is about trying to disrespect you. But I look at everybody as hoes and tricks. So you a trick or you a hoe.
Wait a minute.
So that's for a whole nother conversation. But I'm gonna tap on this young woman of today conversation about how y'all dressing and shit out here. Listen. Women today, you guys wear see-through shirts. You guys wear no bra just so we can see the nipple ring.
See-through bottoms now too. Let's not forget.
Oh yeah,
there are see-through bottoms.
Oh yeah, see-through bottoms where you just had a little underwear that you can just see through your little dress or whatever it is. But listen, understand that, you know, for some of y'all, it's a power thing. It's like taking back the power, right? It's like no one's in control of my body. I am in control of my body. I can do what I want, blah, blah, whatever. Right? Like, I get that. I really get that. But that's just like, that goes back to the Matrix. That's just like, when you watching the Matrix, and then Neo finds out that the Oracle is a program.
Right.
So this idea of rebelliousness and
Us women over
over
sexualizing
sexualizing
ourselves, our
right,
damn selves.
right,
Ain't nobody else doing it but
yourselves.
us. Why are we making
Because
such a big thing?
right, because the whole thing that I from what I understand, and correct me, comment this if I'm wrong, women, ladies, comment this if I'm wrong. Let me know, and we'll speak on it. But from my understanding, in an uphill battle that women has always been fighting, at least as long as I've been alive, and as far as I know, that women been taken seriously. Women want to be seen as equals. Women want to be respected.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Like, you know what I'm saying? So I'm gonna take the time to say this. If a nigga wore some little tidy whities and he wore a see-through shirt and some see-through pants, how many niggas you think would see that man and respect him?
They gonna be like, that's not the same though. That's not the
I'm,
same.
but yet, you're right. It's not the same. But yet, y'all guys want to be equal to us. That's the whole thing, women. Women can't be equal to men. Women are two different things, right? You know what I'm saying? The roles in society for men and women are different. So it's just like
I mean, we are equal, but we just have our different things. How are we not equal?
Yeah, I mean, I'm saying though, like, like, I'm saying, like, it's not an equal thing. It's not about being equal.
What's it about?
You know what I'm saying? It's
You saying play your role?
like listen, it's just like I know a lot of y'all can relate to this because a lot of y'all probably had a sibling that got away with stuff that you couldn't get away with, or had a friend or somebody that you knew who got away with stuff that you couldn't get away with. And you was always just like, damn, how can this motherfucker do all this and that, and they just get through it, or it always work out.
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Why can my sister stay out late, but I can't stay out late?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? How come my brother can drive the like you let my brother drive the car, but you won't let me drive the car?
Right.
A lot of y'all have had those times in your life. How come this person at work don't have to do this and I have to do this?
Right.
Do you know why, people? It's different strokes for different folks.
That's what you say?
Yes, that equal shit, that's not real. Everybody's different. You know what I'm saying?
That's what you saying?
You know what I'm saying? Everybody's different, but everybody in the same spot potential. Everybody has the potential to be great and do whatever. But everybody's not equal in the sense of everybody tapping into that potential.
Mm-hmm.
You said, why is that? Because that's just what it is. Like, it's just like there's some people who choose to, break their limits, and there's some people that choose to be comfortable. You know what I'm saying? There's some people out there there's a lot of people out there. A lot of y'all I know that you went to high school, you went to college for a few years, you had some fun, you met some friends, and now you working some job, whatever the job is, accounting, lawyer, whatever the job is, you're working some job right now, and you're still doing the same shit you doing in college. If you just not married or with somebody, you still, mingling, still now instead of you being in school, now work at school.
Right.
And it's just a continuing cycle, and that's cool, because a lot of people just feel like, I just want something secure. Ain't nothing wrong with wanting to just feel secure. You scared. You know what I'm saying? You just want to.
You scared?
Yeah, you scared out here.
You saying those people are scared?
Yeah, because you know what I'm saying. I understand that fear. That fear is real, because of the way the society is set up. A lot of us just don't want to be homeless. A lot of us don't want to just be like losers, whatever that means to you. A lot of us don't want to be. Most of us do not want to be a loser. That's the main thing. You don't want to lose, but it's different strokes for different folks. Like, people And that's fine if you don't want to lose. If you choose to just, I don't want to lose, so I'm sit on the sidelines. Cause like that's what you do when you choose to just go through the system and just do shit, and just work. Like think about it, it's doctors and lawyers out there who just that's just a job to them. And like don't get me wrong, there is doctors and lawyers out there who's doing it on a completely different level because it's their passion. But there's more often than not, you got people out here just working jobs.
So they can get that stable money, get that money, get that clout, whatever it is for them, just to get that whatever it is.
Because now, now I can afford, now I can afford to work. I mean, I can afford to have a place of my own. I can afford to drive my own car. I can afford to pay my own bills, and all that is admirable. That's admirable, especially like for those who have kids or whatever.
Right, those are just the basics.
Yes, that's something that should be granted to every man, if you ask me. But that's for another day. But I'm just saying, like, that's cool if you feel like that. But there are other people out here in this world who don't feel like that. There are people out in this world that feel like all this stuff is going on. I want to break my limits.
Right.
I want to become stronger. I want to become smarter. I want to become faster. I want to become better. You know what I'm saying? I don't want to just work a job. I want to create jobs.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And for those people, it's how can you sit there and say that a person who is putting in 40% in their own life is equal to a person who's 90 going off?
Right.
You know what I'm saying? That's unfair. You know what I'm saying? Like now we're talking about not being fair. It's all about being fair. It's not about being equal. It's about being fair.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? This equal shit. Anybody equal to nothing, nigga. You not no equation. You a person. You know what I'm saying? Equality. What the fuck did that even mean? What the fuck did that even mean? Everybody being equal? It can't happen.
Everybody being that's right. It's not gonna happen. So I don't know why they try to push for it so bad.
Because we not all equal. If we were percentages and everybody goal was to be on 100%, if that was the life thing, like I mean if that was like the highest you can get is 100%, most people would be like around 10-15%.
You know, I wasn't about to give no high percentage either.
You know what I'm saying?
You really gave us a little. I was thinking 20-30
No,
at least.
most motherfuckers will be on 10 or 15%.
Hey.
You know what I'm saying? So for those who, how I said, like motherfuckers who like, and then even those motherfuckers who, okay, because like a lot of y'all think y'all tight, because a lot of y'all went to college for 4 years and you still working a job. You just making a little bit more money. Like now you can live in a better neighborhood, act like you better than somebody else.
Right.
Cause they working at McDonald's or whatever. But you doing the same shit they doing, but you just working in the office and making more money.
Right.
A job is a job is a job. Always remember that. Don't you ever lie to yourself and think, oh, I'm important because I make this $70,000 a year. You're not. You're not. You're a part of the Matrix, Mrs. Smith. Don't you ever forget that. But now, I'm gonna go ahead and wrap this up, and I'm gonna bring all this together, because I talked about all this stuff today, to bring it all back to acceptance, right? We have to learn to accept stuff. We have to accept that you have no control. Accept that everything that you know could be a lie. Accept that it's not gonna go your way. Accept that other people gonna get upset. Accept that people gonna feel different than you. Accept that you can be wrong. It's just about accepting, right? Accepting is better than love. Accepting is better than trust. Because if you can accept something, you know what I'm saying, like the way that you will be able to maneuver life, the relationship that you can build once you start accepting this shit is boundless and endless. But you gotta accept this shit. Accept this shit for what it is, and don't turn.
But you have to explain that, because people may take, oh, I'm just supposed to accept anything.
No, listen. I'm not saying dumb yourself down and just be like anything. I'm saying accept that that's a thing, though.
Right.
Like, accept that there is stuff out here to dumb you down. You know, and then once you accept it, you know what I'm saying? Once you start learning about it, understanding yourself, learn your soul language. So I'm not gonna go no deeper than this because
Soul language.
your soul language, and that's a new thing. That's something we're gonna say aloud in the show, yeah. Because like this is like part one in and this is like if
We taking it
everything
to a whole series.
if right if everything that I say will ultimately one day be played all together, this is part one to a whole speech. But I'm gonna stop right here at acceptance, and this is one thing you're gonna always hear on this channel is your soul language. Like, guys, you guys gotta understand yourself. Everything out here is a lie. Everything out here is, something that it's not, right? Like, so you get lied to so much in life nowadays. So one thing that you don't want to do, you don't want to be lying to yourself.
Right.
Sit with yourself, think, face yourself. Those thoughts that you don't want to think about, like when you get mad, you be like, I don't want to talk about it. Now you want to go out and just don't worry about it. No, think about that shit. Sit and think. Think about that. Think about all the scenarios. Think about, everything. Face it. Own it. Stand on it. Stand on that shit. You know what I'm saying? Accept it. Understand it. It's just like, and once you do that, man, it's gonna get a lot easier to maneuver in life out here because you're gonna be able to understand and accept shit. You know what I'm saying? And understand that, like, and like I feel like once you get to a certain place, a certain point of acceptance and understanding, it becomes peaceful. Right? You get to a point of peace because you can accept a person for who they are. That's a whole different type of relationship that you build with somebody when you accept who you are. When you accept who you are, the relationship that you can build with people, how I said, is boundless. Accept who you are. I'm not, but like I'm saying, accept who you are and keep getting better. Continue to break.
I'm just accepting and stating.
Right. Continue to break your limits. That's another thing that you can always hear me say, breaking your limits. But all this stuff we're going to have conversations about. We got plenty of time, people. I'm going to end it on this note. Acceptance is better than love.
I don't think it's better than love.
I mean, I'm sorry. I didn't mean to say love. I'm a little high right now. Listen, acceptance is better than trust. You know what I'm saying? That's going to be our next video. My next video going to be about acceptance and trust, and why acceptance is better than trust. So until next time, if y'all like this content, do me a favor and hit that bell icon at the bottom. Comment everything that y'all feel. Y'all hate it, y'all love it. Like this video, please, or even dislike it. It doesn't matter. Do what you feel like you need to do. And until next time, this is your boy Nig, the Prophet. This is your boy Father Tavo. I'm signing out. And until next time, I enjoyed this conversation with y'all. And yeah, we're gonna do it again one day.